Namaste, Manu. Where are you coming from? How did you come to know about our class? That wasn't. Okay. Well, we're happy to have you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. We are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kim tasya dorlabhataram ihaloke paratracha yasya vipra prasiddhanti shivo vishnuscha sanuga. Dandavat Pranam, Uma Devi.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased can achieve anything which is very rare to obtain in this world, as well as after death. Not only that, but one also receives the favor of the auspicious Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, who accompany the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Purport. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are the bearers of Lord Vishnu, the all-auspicious. As confirmed in Brahma Samhita 5.38, Premanjanam Chodita Bhakti Vilochanena Shanta Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Sham Sundaram Achintya Gunasvarupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. The devotees out of their extreme love for Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always carry the Lord within their hearts. The Lord is already in the heart of everyone, but the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas actually perceive and see him always in ecstasy. Therefore, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are carriers of Vishnu. Wherever they go, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, or the devotees of Lord Vishnu are all carried. The four Kumāras are Brahmanas, and they visited the place of Mahārāja Pṛthu. Naturally, Lord Vishnu and his devotees were also present. Under the circumstances, the conclusion is that when the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased with a person, Lord Vishnu is also pleased. This is confirmed by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his 8 stanzas on the spiritual master. Yasya Prasadad Bhagavat Prasada. By pleasing the spiritual master, who is both Brahmana and Vaishnava, one pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased, then one has nothing more to achieve, either in this world or after death. Text 9. Naivhalakshayate loko lokan paryatatopiyan yatha sarvadrisham sarva atmanam yesya hetava. Pṛthu Maharaj continued, although you are traveling in all planetary systems, people cannot know you, just as they cannot know the Supersoul, although he is within everyone's heart as the witness of everything. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the Supersoul. Purport. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Muyanti Yat Surya. Great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra are sometimes bewildered trying to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It so happened that when Krishna was present on this planet, Lord Brahma and King Indra also mistook him. And what to speak of great yogis or jnanis who conclude that the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is impersonal. In the same way, great personalities and Vaishnavas like the four Kumāras are also invisible to ordinary persons, although they are traveling all over the universe in different planetary systems. When Sanatana Goswami went to see Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not be recognized by Chandrasekhar Acharya. The conclusion is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, and his pure devotees, the Vaishnavas, are also traveling all over the world. But those who are under the modes of material nature cannot understand the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The source of this cosmic manifestation, or the Vaishnavas, it is said, therefore, that one cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead or a Vaishnava with these material eyes. One has to purify his senses and engage in the service of the Lord. Then gradually one can realize who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and who is a Vaishnava. Namaste, Rick. Text 10. Adhana pite danyaha sadhavo griha medina yad griha yarta varyambu trinha bhumisvaravara. A person who is not very rich and is attached to family life becomes highly glorified when saintly persons are present in his home. The master and servants who are engaged in offering the exalted visitors water, a sitting place, and paraphernalia for reception are glorified, and the home itself is also glorified. Purport. Materially, if a man is not very rich, he is not glorious, and spiritually, if a man is too attached to family life, he is also not glorious. But saintly persons are quite ready to visit the house of a poor man or a man who is attached to material family life. When this happens, the owner of the house and his servants are glorified because they offer water for washing the feet of a saintly person, sitting places, and other things to receive him. The conclusion is that if a saintly person goes to the house of even an unimportant man, such a person becomes glorious by his blessings. It is therefore the Vedic system that a householder invite saintly persons into his home to receive his blessings. This system is still current in India, and therefore saintly persons, wherever they go, are hosted by the householders, who in their turn get an opportunity to receive transcendental knowledge. It is the duty of a sannyasi, therefore, to travel everywhere just to favor the householders who are generally ignorant of the values of spiritual life. It may be argued that all householders are not very rich, and that one cannot receive great saintly persons or preachers because they are always accompanied by their disciples. If a householder is to receive a saintly person, he has to receive his entourage also. It is said in the Shastras that Durvasa Muni was always accompanied by 60,000 disciples, and that if there was a little discrepancy in their reception, he would be very angry and would sometimes curse the host. The fact is that every householder, regardless of his position or economic condition, can at least receive saintly guests with great devotion and offer them drinking water, for drinking water is available always. In India, the custom is that even an ordinary person is offered a glass of water if he suddenly visits and one cannot offer him foodstuff. If there is no water, then one can offer a sitting place, even if it is on straw mats. And if one has no straw mat, he can immediately cleanse the ground and ask the guest to sit there. Supposing that a householder cannot even do that, then with folded hands he can simply receive a guest saying, "Welcome." And if he cannot do that, then he should feel very sorry for his poor condition and shed tears and simply offer obeisances with his whole family, wife and children. In this way he can satisfy any guest, even if the guest is a saintly person or a king. Text 11. Vyalhalaya druma vaitev arikta kila sampada yad grihas tirtha padiya padha tirtha vivarjita. On the contrary, even though full of opulence and material prosperity, any householder's house where the devotees of the Lord are never allowed to come in, and where there is no water for washing their feet, is to be considered a tree in which all venomous serpents live. Purport. In this verse, the word Tirtha Padiya indicates devotees of Lord Vishnu or Vaishnavas. As far as Brahmanas are concerned, in the previous verse, the mode of reception has been already described. Now in this verse, special stress is being given to the Vaishnavas. Generally, the sannyasis, or those in the renounced order of life, take trouble to enlighten the householders. There are Ekadandi sannyasis and Tridandi sannyasis. The Ekadandi sannyasis are generally followers of Shankaracharya and are known as Mayavadi sannyasis, whereas the Tridandi sannyasis are followers of Vaishnavacharyas, Ramanuja and Madhavacharya, and so on. And they take trouble to enlighten others. They take trouble to enlighten the householders. Ekadandi sannyas can be situated on the platform of pure Brahman because they are aware that the spirit soul is different from the body, but they are mainly impersonalists. The Vaishnavas know that the absolute truth is the Supreme Person, and that the Brahman effulgence is based on the Supreme Personality of Godhead as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.27. Brahmano hi pratistaham. The conclusion is that Tirtha Padiya refers to Vaishnavas. In Bhagavatam 1.13.10, there is also another reference. Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani. Wherever he goes, a Vaishnava immediately makes that place a Tirtha, a place of pilgrimage. The Vaishnava sannyasis travel all over the world to make every place a place of pilgrimage by the touch of their lotus feet. It is mentioned here that any house which does not receive a Vaishnava in the manner already explained in the previous verse is to be considered the residential quarters of venomous serpents. It is said that around the sandalwood tree, which is a very valuable tree, there is a venomous serpent. Sandalwood is very cold, and venomous serpents, because of their poisonous teeth, are always very warm, and they take shelter of the sandalwood trees to become cooler. Similarly, there are many rich men who keep watchdogs or doormen and put up signs that say, "Do not enter, trespassers not allowed, beware of the dog," etc. Sometimes in Western countries, a trespasser is shot, and there is no crime in such shooting. This is the position of a demoniac householder, and such houses are to be considered the residential quarters of venomous snakes. The members of such families are not better than snakes because snakes are very much envious, and when that envy is directed to the saintly person, their position becomes more dangerous. It is said by Chanakya Pandita that there are two envious living entities, the snake and the envious man. The envious man is more dangerous than a snake because a snake can be subdued by charming mantras or by some herbs, but an envious person cannot be pacified by any means. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from text 12 on Wednesday. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Mahārāja ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Shanta Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. All glories to
Jai.
the assembled devotees. All glories to the worldwide devotees. Sama Bhaktivedanta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Navadvip Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Jai Tulsi Devi ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Nitai Gauda Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srimati Uma Devi Dasi ki jai.
Jai Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Sripad Krishna Keshav Prabhu ji ki jai.
Dhanyavad Stiri.
Danda Danda Pranam.